Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Today I am sharing the top 8 2025 paint colors that are going to absolutely dominate 2026 that I truly believe in. The ones that go beyond the fleeting color trends you see everywhere and into the realm of colors that will stand the test of time. These are the exact paint colors that I'm specifying for my high-end client projects right now, colors that transform how we feel in our spaces, enhance our daily lives, and yes, absolutely elevate every single room they touch. So grab your favorite coffee or tea as I have mine right here. Get comfortable because this is going to be incredibly inspiring. And let's dive into the paint colors I'm obsessing over for 2025 and 2026, starting with my absolute favorite one that's going to blow your mind. Warm sage green is having its moment, and I am here for it. What's key about this color in 2025 is how it's being used. No longer just an accent wall situation, warm sage is becoming the foundation color for entire homes. We're seeing this across luxury residential projects and high-end hospitality, where this color creates an instant sense of calm and sophistication. Think of it as nature's neutral, but with so much more personality than your typical beige or gray. This isn't your grandmother's mint green, people. This is a complex, nuanced color that has gray undertones mixed with the perfect amount of warmth. I've been using variations of this color in 3 different client homes this year, and the response has been absolutely incredible. What to look for when choosing your warm sage green. You want colors with gray undertones rather than yellow undertones. Look for names that include words like sage, eucalyptus, or olive mist. Test it in different lighting conditions because this color can shift dramatically from morning to evening light. What to avoid with warm sage green. Don't go too yellow or you'll end up with something that feels dated rather than timeless. Avoid pairing it with cool grays because the undertones will clash. Now, before we move to number 2, I have to share something with you. Approximately 70% of you who watch this channel regularly are not subscribed. And honestly, it breaks my heart a little bit. If you have just a tiny bit of love for paint and color in your heart, will you please hit that subscribe button? It makes such a massive difference for this channel, and it means we can create even more in-depth color content and bring you the paint colors and techniques you're asking for. All right, let's talk about number 2, and this one is going to surprise some of you. Deep chocolate brown is making a major comeback, but not in the way you think. This isn't the brown from the early 2000s that felt heavy and dark. This is a sophisticated, rich brown that's being used as the new black in interior design. What's happening with chocolate brown in 2025 is absolutely fascinating. Designers are using it as a grounding color that makes every other color in the room pop. We're seeing it in powder rooms as a dramatic statement, in dining rooms for intimacy, and even in bedrooms for that cocoon-like feeling that everyone is craving right now. I recently specified a gorgeous deep chocolate brown for a client's library, and when I tell you it transformed the entire space, I mean it completely elevated everything. The brass fixtures looked more expensive, the artwork became more dramatic, and the whole room felt like a luxury hotel suite. How to apply chocolate brown in your space. Use it strategically rather than everywhere. One accent wall can completely transform a room. Layer it with warm creams and soft whites to prevent it from feeling too heavy. And always balance it with good lighting because brown absorbs light. Number 3 is a color that I've been secretly obsessing over, and I think you're going to love it too. Soft terracotta is having its moment, and it's about time. This isn't the bright orange terracotta from the Mediterranean vacation photos. This is a muted, sophisticated version that brings warmth without being overwhelming. What makes soft terracotta so special for 2025 and 2026 is its versatility. It works as a neutral, but has so much more personality than beige. I've been using soft terracotta in several client projects, and the feedback has been phenomenal. One client told me that her bedroom now feels like a luxury spa retreat. What to look for in soft terracotta? You want colors with pink undertones rather than orange undertones. Look for names that include words like clay, adobe, or dusty rose. Pair it with warm whites, deep greens, and natural materials for the most cohesive look. What to avoid with soft terracotta? Don't go too bright or you'll end up with something that feels more like a children's playroom than a sophisticated adult space. Avoid pairing it with cool blues or grays because the undertones will fight each other. Now, number 4 is going to make some of you very happy because it's a color I know many of you have been waiting for. Classic navy blue is not going anywhere, and in fact, it's getting even more sophisticated for 2025 and 2026, but the way we're using navy is evolving in the most beautiful way. What's different about navy blue now is the depth and complexity of the colors we're choosing. We're moving away from the flat, one-dimensional navies and toward colors that have layers of undertones. Some have green undertones that make them feel more organic, others have purple undertones that add richness and drama. I'm currently using 3 different navy blues in 3 different client projects, and each one creates a completely different mood. Navy blue is the ultimate sophisticated neutral. It works with literally every other color. It never goes out of style, and it can be both dramatic and calming depending on how you use it. How to use navy blue successfully: consider the undertones carefully because they will affect how the color looks with your other furnishings. Use it with warm whites and brass fixtures for a classic look, or pair it with warm woods and leather for something more casual. For those of you who don't know, I offer expert color consultations through a Zoom link. All you have to do is click the link in the description section, my calendar pops up, and you can book a one-on-one session with me via Zoom. You can show me your space, bring your inspiration photos, or we can just talk through your color dilemmas. The majority of people who book these color consultations tell me afterward that they wish they had done it sooner, because not only do they know exactly what colors to choose, they don't have anxiety about it anymore. All right, let's move on to number 5, and this is a color trend I'm incredibly excited about. Remember, nothing is set in stone with these trends. If you don't love a color, don't use it. I'm just here to share what's happening in the design world in case any of these colors inspire you. Dusty lavender is the surprise color trend of 2025, and I have to admit I was skeptical at first, but after seeing how beautifully it works in real spaces, I'm completely converted. This isn't the bright purple lavender from your childhood bedroom. This is a muted, sophisticated lavender that has gray undertones and works almost like a neutral. What makes dusty lavender so special is its ability to be both calming and interesting at the same time. It's soft enough to use in a bedroom for that peaceful feeling we all crave, but it has enough personality to make a statement in a living room or dining room. I recently used a gorgeous dusty lavender in a client's bedroom, and the transformation was incredible. The room went from feeling cold and sterile to warm and nurturing. The client told me she looks forward to going to bed every night now because her room feels like a sanctuary. How to work with dusty lavender successfully: choose colors with gray undertones rather than pink undertones for the most sophisticated look. Pair it with warm whites and natural wood tones to keep it grounded. Use it with brass or gold fixtures rather than silver to enhance the warmth. Number 6 is a color that I think is going to make a lot of you very happy because it's both unexpected and incredibly versatile. Warm mushroom gray is the gray that's finally going to make everyone love gray again. This isn't the cold, sterile gray that dominated the 2010s. This is a warm, complex gray that has brown and beige undertones. What's revolutionary about warm mushroom gray is that it gives you all the sophistication of gray without any of the coldness. It works beautifully with both warm and cool accent colors, it makes artwork pop, and it creates the perfect backdrop for layering textures and patterns. I've been using variations of warm mushroom gray in several projects, and clients are amazed at how different it feels from the grays they've seen before. One client said it feels like a warm hug rather than a cold shoulder, and I think that perfectly captures what makes this color so special. How to use warm mushroom gray effectively: look for grays with brown or beige undertones rather than blue or green undertones. Test it in different lighting conditions because the warmth will be more apparent in natural light. Pair it with warm whites and natural materials to enhance the cozy feeling. Now we're getting to number 7, and as you know, I always save some of the best for last, so make sure you stay until the very end because number 8 is going to absolutely blow your mind. Creamy off-white is having a major moment, but not just any off-white. We're talking about complex, layered off-whites that have depth and character. These aren't the stark, cold whites that dominated minimalist design. These are warm, inviting whites that feel like a cashmere sweater rather than a sterile hospital room. What makes creamy off-white so perfect for 2025 and 2026 is its ability to make every other color in your space look more expensive and sophisticated. It's the ultimate backdrop color that enhances everything around it without competing for attention. I recently completed a whole house in varying shades of creamy off-white, and the result was absolutely stunning. Each room felt connected to the others, but each had its own personality based on the specific shade of white we chose. How to choose the perfect creamy off-white: test multiple shades in your actual space because lighting makes a huge difference. Consider the other colors in your room because the undertones need to work together harmoniously. Look at the color at different times of day because natural light changes throughout the day. Last but absolutely not least, my ultimate favorite color trend for 2025 going into 2026. I promised you this would be the best one, and it truly is. You're going to have to trust me on this because it might sound intimidating at first, but it's actually incredibly beautiful and surprisingly versatile. Deep forest green is the color that's going to define luxury interiors for the next 2 years. Now, that might sound like a lot, that might sound overwhelming, but I'm going to explain exactly what I mean and why this color is so special, because it's important for me to break this down so you understand. And it is actually simple to understand and absolutely incredible to implement. Deep forest green is the boldest and most editorial color trend of 2025 going into 2026. This isn't just any green. We're talking about rich, complex greens that have depth and sophistication. Think of the color of a dense forest at twilight or the deepest part of an evergreen tree. What makes deep forest green so extraordinary is its ability to create instant sophistication and drama without feeling overwhelming or trendy. It's a color that feels both timeless and completely current. We're seeing it used in dining rooms where it creates an intimate, cocoon-like atmosphere perfect for entertaining. I recently used a stunning deep forest green in a client's dining room, and I cannot wait to share the photos with you when they're ready. The transformation was absolutely magical. The room went from feeling ordinary to feeling like a jewel box. Every piece of art looked more valuable, every piece of furniture looked more expensive. How to use deep forest green successfully. Start with one room rather than trying to use it throughout your entire house. Choose a room where you want to create drama and intimacy. Pair it with warm whites and brass fixtures for the most luxurious look. Use plenty of lighting because dark colors absorb light. What to avoid with deep forest green. Don't choose a green that's too blue or it will feel cold rather than warm and inviting. Don't use it in a room that doesn't get good natural or artificial light because you won't be able to appreciate its beauty. The through line with all of these paint colors is intentionality and sophistication. The best color trends of 2025 and 2026 aren't just chasing what's new and different. They're about building on timeless principles of color theory while bringing in the warmth and complexity that we're all craving in our homes right now. I want to know which of these 8 paint colors you found most inspiring or surprising. Are you brave enough to try the deep forest green? Are you ready to embrace the sophistication of chocolate brown? Or maybe the soft terracotta is calling your name for your bedroom retreat? I genuinely want to hear from you because your feedback and questions help me create even better content for this channel. I love you all more than you know, and I appreciate every single one of you who takes the time to watch these videos, leave comments, and be part of this amazing community we've built around our shared love of beautiful color. If you're new to this channel, welcome to the family. This is the best place on the internet to learn about paint colors and design trends, and I can't wait to see you again next week when we'll be diving even deeper into how to use these gorgeous colors in real spaces.